For the better part of a decade, the International has invited the world's finest Dota teams to wage battle for the Aegis of Champions and the largest prize pools in all of esports. Fans from around the world have come together to celebrate this shared passion. Live at the tournament and in gatherings across the globe. Now we assemble once more to honor the moments that define us and witness the genesis of things never seen before. Ours is a fire that burns the world over. The Aegis awaits in the heart of Seattle. But the international spirit resides in us all. For the first time, the Aegis stands undefended. 16 teams compete for ultimate glory. Only one can forge a new legend. Who will emerge victorious? The battle begins.
It is the final day of the International 7. Team Liquid will face LFY, and the winner of that will go to the grand finals against Newbie, where we will crown the 7th champion of the International. Come on out to the Key Arena here in Seattle, Washington. There's an enormous broadcast outside, and of course, tens of thousands of fans are heading in for the action indoors. My name is Day9. I'm joined by Ake, Merlini, and PPD. And we have seen some insane upsets, some crazy close matches, and all-around great Dota. How are you gentlemen doing this fine morning?
Super good. It's just cold here outside.
It is actually very cold outside this morning. It's been so hot, so bright all day. It's a little cooler here. We're a little shivery, but of course, Dota's happening soon.
It's an exciting time.
Yeah.
We're here again, 12 months later, back at another TI Finals.
And if we actually take a look at what has happened leading up to this point, there have been some pretty surprise results. Some of the big themes we've talked about is Chinese Dota doing so unbelievably well. 3 out of the top 4 were Chinese teams. Evil Geniuses having a really heartbreaking exit early on in the tournament. What were some of the big upsets in your eyes?
I think most of that Liquid made it all from the second round in the lower bracket to the lower bracket finals. That's just an amazing round, and we'll see if they make it the whole way.
They've had a really nice run. I think we can be impressed by the wins that they've done in the lower bracket. But I wouldn't, before this tournament, I don't think it'd be too surprising to see Liquid's top 3.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid was expected to do well at this tournament, and their run in the lower bracket really displays that. Battling against Team Secret right when they hit lowers, narrowly winning 2-1 and continuing more and more and more. They just look better and better and better. They're not winding up in wonky drafts and tough situations. I feel like their last win last night was almost just a draft win.
I thought LGD was going to present a bigger challenge than that.
Yeah.
So then I'm actually maybe Liquid is that good.
Well, for any of you who are watching at home, please join in the conversation on all your social medias, Twitter, Instagram. We want to see if you're here. We want to see photos of the back of our heads on our Twitter feeds. We want to hear your votes for who you think is going to be winning the match. And Merlini, I haven't heard from you yet what you think are some of the huge results that have happened at this event.
Obviously, Liquid going this far, I don't think we've given enough appreciation to the patch. I think there was a lot of skepticism surrounding 7.00, but with talents, adding a lot of strategic plays for heroes to be in multiple roles, and the shrines, adding this whole new element to the game, I think that we can all agree that this is one of the best patches ever. And there was 2 heroes announced yesterday, but I didn't really feel like there was that sense of urgency for the 2 heroes. Everyone normally when a patch is born is like, oh my god, when's the next hero coming out? When's the next patch coming out? But this time it's just a bonus.
Yeah, it's been really, really cool to see the way that talents have really influenced everything. And of course, I don't think we've gotten the chance to see how the 2 new heroes will be playing out. And of course, everything disrupts the meta. Now, if any of you didn't catch the action leading up to today, let's take a look at what happened leading up to the final day of the International 7. 5 teams remain, and today 2 will be knocked out, and 1 will be the first team to advance to the grand final.
LGD versus Invictus Gaming. He needs this kill with the Sonic Wave. The damage amplification is just way too much. Invictus Gaming, 4 heroes down. They call GG in sub 20 minutes. IG once again on the run from LGD. Somnus back into the fight with the double. Somnus doing work. The silence as well. Arme so low. Then the start the echo slam. Space created. Arme can blink away. LGD in dominating fashion have removed Invictus Gaming from TI.
And the winner of TI7 cosplay is Clockwork.
It is the winner's bracket final to determine who will be the first finalist of TI7.
Trying to go for Faith, he's gone as well. They've lost 2
Oh
men,
my
he's
god,
gone as
that
well.
damage.
But it's just too damn big at this stage. GG is called. We are going to be going to a game 3. They get the call, the blade mail, the static storm, they're bringing him down over Mornay, still alive, they can't quite
Next, get him.
Mornay is down, and now Newbie moving for more.
The stun on 2.
Next, ultra kill for Moogie into Team White.
And they call GG.
Newbie are your first grand finalists here at the International 2017.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dendi!
Okay, this guy is scary.
Oh, no, no, no! Oh! The hands are shaking. Dendi, are you giving up?
Yep, he's too strong.
We have seen many in a big match fall prey to this Dazzle Huskar.
Team Liquid doing the not Dota draft. It's going to be the elimination match. Team Liquid versus LGD.
LGD want to take this engagement. Miracle jumping in first, the Fissure coming through. But now Somnus left to the Wolves. Liquid, no mind games now. Straight down the middle lane. Miracle starting to heat up. He's heating up. Give him another. He wants more. Bulldozing his way through 11. Liquid surging. They want this tower. GG! Liquid has done it!
In days 1 and 2, so many of the players were very calm after their wins, trying to stay very focused and collected. But the closer you get to the grand finals, I love seeing these teams lose their mind after their winning matches. Watching Newbie advance to the grand final yesterday was a real treat. And now, it's really kind of anyone's tournament, I feel like. I mean, is there any clear leader in your eyes?
I think Liquid has a very good shot at winning, and yeah, I think it's mostly that because for me, they just play good with Coddle and Wisp. But they have really shown that they can actually pick other heroes as well and like perform super well. I think the second game yesterday, people might have felt that it was a bit cheap that they picked Huskar and Brood, but they really they played so well with it. They pushed their limits with the Huskar so good and was able to get kills that I think most teams would actually have lost that game if they had the same lineup.
I feel like they really know themselves really well at this point and developing their strategies and the heroes they like to play over the course of this tournament, especially through that lower bracket. I think that they're coming in today incredibly confident in what they know and what they play. But I'm not totally sold that LFY and Newbie aren't on another level.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the weirdest things for me to personally see yesterday was the fact that LGD dominated their games 2-0 and then got dominated 2-0. And you bring up that idea of yeah, I mean, Team Liquid's looking good, but what if LFY and Newbie are just on this next level as well? And of course, we have good old Coach Purge, and I want to hear your thoughts, Kevin, on what you think the top 3 is going to look like.
Well, I'm not really sure where the finals are gonna end up, but I think the important match to look at from yesterday was the LFY Newbie match. I think there's a lot that Liquid can look at there to see, at least based on draft patterns and things like that, to see who's going to end up winning. Now, one of the crucial games from yesterday was Game 1 here. LFY versus Newbie. Now, Newbie had a good laning stage. It gave them an advantage, so a place that LFY doesn't have to play against very often, but it put them in this weird place where they're behind. In almost every single game of that series that they played yesterday, they had this fight between 10 to 15 minutes where the outcome really changed the tempo of the game, based depending on who is going to go further ahead. And the cool thing that LFY did this game with their Medusa pick was because they didn't have defensive supports, they needed the focus to be on Medusa. And this works pretty well because she can get ruptured, and it's not that big of a deal because any damage that she takes is going to mostly reduce her mana and do a little bit less damage to her hero. And what she did was, with a really fast Blade Mail purchase, a very inexpensive item that is effective on heroes like Medusa because she reflects the full damage, it allowed LFY basically to force their overfarmed opponents to focus on her instead. And then when she pops Blade Mail, as well as her ultimate, it basically forces Newbie to disengage for a moment, and finally they end up committing on her. Now, usually you don't want to focus on her first, but if you do, what happens afterwards, and the cool thing that they did here, is with the Lich over here, he ends up casting his Chain Frost, which basically forces Newbie to have to split away, because if they try to focus on the Medusa together at the same moment, they're all going to get killed because the Chain Frost can hit so many heroes. So this is like a 20-second clip of Super the Medusa being focused, despite them being behind, and ultimately they do get the kill, but at the same time period, we've got a dead sniper on the top of the map because he was focused by the backline. So the important thing to remember in this clip is mostly vision here. So if we go back a little bit and you scroll up to the top, it's actually Night Stalker Ag's time, or ultimate time. So that means the vision of his opponents are reduced. So they had to go in the Medusa here. And what we saw consistently throughout this series was Night Stalker picked almost every time. And I think there's little tells like this and how these games played out that Liquid needs to use to make sure that they can reach that next level of LFY and Newbie.
Night Stalker is one of LFY's favorite heroes, almost picking it first two every single game if it's not banned.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been one of the most dominant heroes this entire tournament, picked and banned over 100 times just on the main stage, or excuse me, in group stages and main stage. Now, one of the big questions I want to ask is, we saw Newbie and LFY just storm their way to the winners bracket finals. We're seeing Team Liquid crawl their way back up through lowers. What, in your eyes, is the big team that is a surprise not to see on this final day of TI?
Oh, it's tough to say.
EG or VP, I would say, one of those two. EG
Yeah.
probably more so for me. I had them at first. I had like an EG Liquid winners bracket finals, and they didn't really go very far at all. Dropped immediately, didn't win a series on the main stage.
That would have been exciting for sure. I think OG, something to be said there. You know, won both the majors this year coming into this tournament. Didn't place better than last year, but still not the results they were really looking for.
Also, it doesn't seem like there were that many instances of teams just falling apart on the main stage. A lot of them were very, very close games in the lower brackets. I mean, what is it that you think? What actually was the biggest upset of this entire tournament?
Biggest upset.
IG LGD was surprisingly not close at all. I would say, I mean, maybe the result wasn't that surprising, but the way they lost was very surprising to me. Like, IG didn't even put up a fight. They did not look like a top 6 team at all.
Yeah, I thought LGD as well. Yesterday was going to put up a much better fight against Liquid. So if that's how you want to think about upsets rather than just win-loss, then I agree with that.
For me, I just thought that Secret would like come further than they did.
It was weird watching both like Liquid and EG and all these great teams come from the lower bracket. It's like, even if you started in like the bottom of your groups and then you had to battle through, you're playing against all these titans right away.
And I guess it just comes from that we didn't really think that all of these teams from China was
exactly
perform this well. So like for us, who was like thinking, oh, EG and OG and Secret, they're probably gonna be up there, and then they like all of them end up in the lower bracket. Then
top 4. There was 3 Chinese teams in VP.
Yeah,
for the winner bracket, and we were all. I mean, you were expecting EG to win. I was expecting similar things. Oh, I'm gonna get myself in trouble up here. Yeah, no, I just EG, Liquid, OG. I thought these teams would be some of the top 6 teams, but them not really being in there is like surprising.
Yeah. Now, as we take a closer look to today, note that in the lower bracket, not only did Team Liquid fall first round and then win all the way up to the top 4 spots, so did LGD, the team that fell at the end of last night. Both of them had strong lower bracket runs, but now Team Liquid will be facing LFY. That will be our first match of the day, and following that will be the best of 5 grand final. So let's take a look at Team Liquid versus LFY. Let's start talking about that matchup, beginning with LFY, the team that looked like the most dominant in this entire event. What is LFY looking like now?
I mean, they're still one of the strongest teams for sure, and I think they match up quite good against Liquid with that they prioritize this NS pick a lot, which is actually very good against Keeper of the Light. So they might try to go for something like that they leave the Coddle and take the NS, but at the same time, other teams have actually tried this and they lost, so...
That's true. Liquid could also just ban it if it's something that LFY turns suit so frequently. For me, I think it's a little different because this is the first time where LFY has actually lost a series. Even in like group stages, I think at worst they went 1-1 in games that didn't matter, but when they had to win, they were undefeated. And yesterday we saw them lose to Newbie. It was a really close series. I think the surprise pick and maybe the hero that they're like thinking about more is Bloodseeker.
You said they got cheesed by them. Cheesed by Bloodseeker.
Well, it's sometimes these heroes emerge where it's like, wow, maybe this hero is that good. And Newbie identified that Bloodseeker was their favorite pick. They brought it into the first 2 of their draft, and they didn't really. It's not like we saw a bunch of cores on the other team. They were just like, this hero's good. We're gonna pick it, and
they picked Earth Spirit and Bloodseeker first 2 all of the 3 games. So
every single match, and with that, they helped show that LFY is actually mortal. And now it's time to go to a very special person. One of the most notable morning greeters. It's Casey. You've been talking all week how excited you are for the final day. How you doing, Casey?
I'm good. We are so excited. And we, as you know, you've been seeing some of our player interviews. We sat down, we did some very serious one-on-ones with a member of every single team that came to TI. But at the end, we thought we need to loosen these guys up a little bit. So I came up with some rapid-fire questions. You've seen some of the answers so far, but here's an example. What's your favorite food?
Oh, man. Burritos.
Who's your favorite team?
Liquid, dude.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay, see? You guys did a great job. Are you excited for this? Who's excited? Okay, so that's an example of how rapid fire works. Here's how it worked when we sat down with several of your favorite pro players. You ready for some rapid fire questions? What is your favorite meal?
Chicken fillet. Pineapple.
Wait, question 1? We can't get past question 1.
I make a pizza and then I add pineapple. It's much better.
That's it.
Yeah.
It makes the whole thing taste better.
Peanuts.
I don't believe you. Biggest pet peeve or things that annoy you?
Girlfriend.
Are you sure you want that to be your answer? If you could be any animal, what would you be?
Peregrine falcon.
I'm sorry?
Peregrine falcon.
And why is that?
They're really fast.
大熊猫. Fish.
A snake, I think.
Oh God, why? Puppies or kittens?
Puppies. Kittens.
Go. Kittens, of course.
Yes. Oh, look at that face. Were you gonna say neither? Do you not like either?
No.
You don't like puppies or kittens?
No.
You are stranded on a deserted island, but you can bring 3 things. What do you bring?
A working Wi-Fi router, a computer, and that's pretty much all I need. Can I just go with 2 things?
You just want 2 things. Wait, I'm sorry. I have to back up for a second. So, do you like pets at all? Birds. Do you like birds?
No.
Fish.
No.
Turtles. What 3 things do you bring?
手机、电脑和女朋友。
Girlfriend last on the list? You meant to say girlfriend first, right? Yeah. Looking out for you.
Water tank.
Okay.
And farms. Can I bring farms? I'm not sure.
Dota farms or regular farms?
Oh, regular farms.
Regular farms. Pet rats.
No.
Pet snake?
Toothbrush.
Okay.
Toothpaste. And pizza.
Pizza to a deserted island.
Yeah, so I eat the pizza, I enjoy the view, and then brush my teeth.
You know what? That's not a bad answer.
Phone, Wi-Fi, and cigarettes.
Okay. Look at that. Huh?
Yeah. It's good.
Now do you like cats?
I don't know.
Well, you know you're a cat lady when you actually literally start whipping out your camera to show Biscuit of the buttery biscuits to everybody in a Dota team. So I apologize for that, but we really appreciate all the players being in such an amazing sport about us asking those questions. We're hanging out here in the crowd. You guys are looking good, right? Yeah. You know, Slacks is way over. Where are you, Slacks? You're way over in the back end of the crowd, right? Where are you?
Hey, hi, Casey. Actually, I'm right here, Casey. Hi. I'm right next to you.
Oh, hey!
Hi, hey! Inception. I'm here with the fans too. We're on this side, sir. What are you hoping to see today here at TI?
Some really great Dota.
Yeah? Who do you think's going to win?
I hope Liquid wins.
Liquid wins? Is that where you're going for? Any words of encouragement?
Go GH.
Go GH. Nice. All right. What do we got here?
Hey.
Hello. Any words of encouragement out there?
Yeah, GH God, go Team Liquid. Woo!
Woo! All right. Fantastic. Come on.
GH, shake him.
It's all GH? Do we have anyone else that's not a fan of Liquid? Come on.
Liquid. Go Liquid.
Wrong place. Anyway, I had to go early yesterday, by the way. A traumatic experience happened to me. But I'm here all day today. Maybe I should show you. Why don't you guys take a look? Right?
Reverse captain's mode.
Why do they use the default announcer at TI? You'd think they'd have something better by now, right?
Dude, tell me about it.
I mean, Casey could make a more up-to-date one right now.
Yeah.
Sir
Yeah.
Action Slacks doesn't need another cookie.
What did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Whatever, dude. I don't need any more cookies.
Sir Action Slacks is buying nachos.
What is that?
That's nacho cheese, Sir
Oh,
Action
no, this
Slacks.
is not happening.
Sir Action Slacks is walking the concourse.
Oh, what is that?
Sir Action Slacks has fallen. Sir Action Slacks needs more fiber. Sir Action Slacks cannot escape. I see you, Sir Action Slacks.
Jeez, what's his problem?
Sir Action Slacks must be stopped. Sir Action Slacks has been dealt with appropriately.
Yeah. So it's okay. She's joined the other voices in the head, so no big deal there. But yeah, everybody's still funneling in there. And if we all ready for the dose? Is that the last man in right there? Oh no! Get out of my shot!
Go LFY.
All right, there we go. The last man. Hello.
Hello.
Are you ready?
LF1.
Yes. All right. LFI. The fans are in. The games are ready. Are you guys ready over there on the desk?
Oh my God, we're so ready, Slacks. Thank you.
Oh, hey, before you guys go, could I tell
Yeah.
you a joke real quick? You had a horrible joke yesterday.
Oh my God, it was actually only fun for me. I think.
All right, check this one out.
I'm ready.
They say that the panel is real sexy, but I only watch it for the plot.
That was another one of those that's more fun for you than for me.
That one was
Okay,
awesome.
thanks, guys. Great to see you. I'll see you.
You know, one of the things I love when you ask Dota players, like, okay, you're going to go to a desert island. What do you bring? As it turns out, all the people here in the top 16 teams of the International, they kind of just want to play Dota.
And they want to starve to death. Some of them, right?
Yeah, right.
They
It's
want
like-
this Wi-Fi and computer. It's like, I don't need food or something.
No, I was very ambitious to bring an entire farm, like make a whole ecosystem, plan the entire thing out.
It's a good plan.
I remember Kevin was telling me that at one of the after parties there was like some PCs set up at one of the events earlier this year, and literally everyone just went and played Dota for 8 hours until like 5 in the morning.
That was one of the best after parties. I love that.
Yeah.
We don't ever get to play. I never played with you. Either of you two.
We played at the DAC LAN Center.
Aside
didn't
from
we?
that was a one-time thing.
Oh, well, you're
We
welcome.
played at Dota 1, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was a long time ago.
It's a different Merlini.
It was enough for me.
Yeah.
Well, I think the players are much like us. We're just in the mood for some awesome Dota. It's going to be Liquid going up against LFY. And this is, I feel like, a battle of different approaches, different ideologies starting off the day.
Feels like that is the reason why there's been so many games that's been like 2-0, because you can play the game in a lot of ways, and some ways are better against like some other playstyles. And like we could see that VP, they won like some games 2-0, like super easy in the upper bracket, and then they struggled in the lower bracket straight away.
Well, I don't really think they had themselves figured out. That was like on day one of day two in Liquid. They weren't really picking any disables, and they were kind of. I wasn't a big fan of their drafts, but now later into this term, I think it's really come together. I think Krogi's on top of it.
It's a little weird to see a team get progressively better as the tournament goes on. Well, I don't want to say better, but the games are getting more one-sided in Liquid's fashion.
Yeah, you'd think, the better the competition gets, the closer the matches would get, but maybe Liquid is just figuring themselves out more, and everybody's just kind of waiting on them and saying, oh, we can handle them. And then when they get there, it's a whole different thing.
Feels like it's just going to be tough for LFY to know how they're going to approach it, because I think Liquid have won against, is it 5 teams in the lower bracket? And they're gonna see that, oh, they were trying this and they lost. They were trying this and they lost. And I'm gonna try this and they lost.
Yeah. I don't think they've played each other either, right? They were in different groups and they didn't see each other.
Right.
They haven't seen each other in the brackets yet.
Yeah.
Finals day on its way.
This is a big day for a lot of people. The last day of the International. Prize pool is higher than it has ever been. It is nearly $25 million right now.
What do you do with $2 million as a Dota player?
You play Dota till 5 in the morning. No, you get nice suits.
No. You just play more Dota. That's the crazy thing. Is like a lot of these guys will end up here and they'll go party, and then tomorrow everyone will be chilling, trying to get over their hangover, and they'll just go play Dota in their hotel rooms.
That has truly been the hardest part about this entire event, is that I've not played Dota all week.
It's rough.
Yeah.
The International has a very particular way of inspiring people to play the game.
Yeah, that's what made me play, was TI.
Yep. I'm looking forward to playing tomorrow.
Well, you heard the horn. That means that the day is about to get underway. Our first team will be coming out to the main stage for the first match of the final day. Please join me in welcoming LFY. God bless these crowds. I mean, we are hundreds of feet from the venue. We are outside, and you can hear the crowd so loudly. LFY has so many fans who've come out to support them today. And their opponents, of course, no strangers to the scenes, the legendary Team Liquid. This team has been continuing to gain momentum as time has gone on. KuroKy appears to have figured out his drafting. Many of their games are carried by their position 1 and 2 players, Matumba Man, and of course, Miracle, one of the most legendary mid players in Dota history. Let's take a closer look at Miracle.
If you want to spend 20 hours a day for like 6 years, no matter what you do, you're going to be good at it. Especially when you have the talent. That's what happened with Amer.
Amer started playing when he was very young, maybe 6, 7 years old.
When we were young, like people here in Jordan mostly go to the internet cafes.
Like in Jordan, that's the thing that where you actually meet friends. As a teenager, for me and for Amer, you don't have too much things to do. That's why people like the same age of ours play Dota all the time.
Amer was super curious where we go. He started convincing my mama, I want to go with my brothers, I want to see what they do there. We start taking him with us, and he started learning, watching.
In the beginning, my mom was very supportive. Kept telling that, yeah, I'm gonna join a team. It didn't happen, but she She kept saying that it's fine, you'll find your way.
People usually follow competitive Dota before they become pro, but he didn't know anyone. Even when I asked him, like, did you watch TI 1, 2, 3? He's like, nope, never heard of it. In that sense, he's very unique. He just played the game, and apparently he's so talented that he just got picked up.
After high school, maybe after like 2 to 3 weeks, some of the pro players talked to me about the gaming thing. So it was pretty fortunate for me, let's put it that way. I actually didn't know what direction do I want to go for. I was like pretty confused, and I was in the middle, like, what do I want to do?
I think Amir is a person that lives in the moment. Doesn't feel like he is worried about a lot of things in his future, or maybe even the next day. He just takes things very lightly.
He just lives his life the way he likes to do it. He just doesn't care what happens next.
والله إلك الله أنط عليه نط هذا حلو يا هلا يا هلا هذا شكله راح يعض علي اوبا ايش صغير وين عمر لا مالنا لو اطلع ايش برو لا مش هيوصلك طب 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 طب
Because of his carefree behavior, he naturally understands that he should just focus on what's in front of him.
I don't really think much about the goals outside of the game, you know. Like, it's only in the game.
His level of focus is something uncomparable to any player I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of players grow and become excellent at the game, but when he looks at the screen while he plays, it's as if he's in the game, as if he's in the battlefield. It becomes a beautiful picture in the game.
Most of the players play Dota because they wanna do something later. I wanna play Dota because I wanna win TI. He wants to win TI, but he just wins TI without thinking about winning TI. He plays Dota because he wants to have fun.
Living in the moment, let's say.
We've seen teams down 0-1, teams that go from winners to lowers and fall apart under the pressure. Miracle has done the exact opposite, having better and better performances, and it really seems like just across the board on Liquid, they are on fire.
Kuroky's done a really good job these last 2 years of building a team that works for him and that he's like has this like sort of cohesion. You know, right now he's playing with arguably 4 core players, playing this like incredibly hard position 5 and just enabling them to do the things that they are good at, and they work incredibly well together.
I think that honestly they have shown some of the most versatility as well in terms of how they have been adjusting over the course of the game.
Yeah, they're also one of the teams that actually like to switch between the mid and the safe lane, and that is also like strength for the team. The opponents don't they don't really know if it's gonna be Miracle mid or Miracle safe lane, you know. So
I think it's because they're traditional 1, 2, and 3 cores. I think everybody's playing around GH. You know, whether he's more so like the Caudle and Wisp, but like even like the Night Stalker and the Earthshaker, like they are catering to his strengths, and they're all uniting behind it. So if Matoma Man needs to play Broodmother or play some Timbersaw or some non-traditional carry, he'll do it.
You know, Merlini, I want to shift the focus to LFY a little bit. Obviously, we just got the profile of Miracle. We just got the opportunity to talk about their strengths. The match is going to start really soon. What do you think is the big thing to look for LFY?
Not losing the draft, I would say, versus Liquid. Liquid have a lot more play styles that we've seen. We've seen Wisp, Shaker, Coddle, which is the obvious ones. And then we've seen Huskar and Broodmother, and then we've seen Darkster Slaughter. We've seen the Anti-Mage as well. So LFY, we've seen them more one-dimensional, I would say, in the drafting. And that one dimension has been working out really well for them, though.
Well, we just heard that the match has just now started. It is time for the first game of our first series. It's going to be LFY versus Team Liquid. Elimination is on the line.
LFY versus Team Liquid. Game 1.
All
the shakers right
here. Yep. This has really been the theme that we've been seeing again and again and again out of Team Liquid. It's a Wisp Coddle ban, which immediately gives them first pick Earthshaker. GH is 9-1 on Earthshaker.
They actually get the Coddle as well. The draft is going to go super. Whoa! These teams are so well prepared for this match.
Well, looks like GH is not on Earthshaker.
They first banned Necrophos. That was actually an issue that we saw, too. And Liquid picked it up in the first phase a lot. Allowed them to push Icon early. Countered a lot of the heavy physical damage, Magnus, and other strats that we've seen coming out from some of the Chinese teams.
LFY making the conscious decision to not only give Team Liquid one of their favorite heroes, but to give them two of their favorite heroes.
I really like that because, as we've seen before, like the other teams have been trying to give them one of them, but now they're trying something new. They want to...
Yeah, they didn't just give them one and take the other. They said, no, you can have them both.
Yeah.
Let's see what you can do with this.
This might be a little bit better for them, too, because now they actually know what hero Mind Control is going to play. Because they usually pick up their two supports very early on. And now Mind Control being on the Shaker, very likely, makes the safe lane decision a little bit easier for them. LGD Forever Young also run this combo that we haven't seen too much on the main stage, the Lich Doom, that Inflame has just been running at people, and some of the other players put it. Does it with Nature's Prophet and the Doom.
What makes the Lich Doom combo so potent?
Well, firstly, Doom's not particularly strong at the early levels, so he can actually pull the wave back, and Doom can also roam into the jungle and eat creeps and not really lose that much in the lane because Lich can sit there. Also, Doom has trouble with armor, and Lich helps that a lot. Aside from that, they just built Doom incredibly tanky and use him as a vision hero, much like other teams would use Night.
We've seen a little bit of Bristleback, but the games where Bristleback has failed, I feel like he hasn't had Lich on his team. I think when we see Lich and Bristle together with the addition of that Ice Armor, Bristle becomes a whole different kind of hero. Doom is kind of similar in that regard because he's so tanky. The effectiveness from Lich's Ice Armor is utilized so much more.
And Bristle is also something that Liquid has been playing together with the Call, but now, as Peter said before, they already have the Shaker, so... And Shaker most likely won't go mid, I guess. It can go mid, but it's not really the miracle hero, I would say.
Yeah, I think up against the Lich, I think Liquid should try and probably keep Miracle away from that lane, wherever it might be. So having some flexibility in terms of laning phase would be good. The puck could easily go to any lane, though.
LFY's turn to pick.
LFY is really targeting like these heroes that Liquid has been playing around with Necrophos and now Huskar as well. And
I think it's the right approach. Really just getting team specific. This is, we're worried about you picking these heroes with your 4th and 5th picks and just eliminating them and not having that kind of like scare factor.
I guess Lycan is the only hero left that Liquid has really been playing a lot that isn't banned. Other than that, then they have been playing the Necrophos a lot on Matumbaman.
Yeah, I like that Necrophos ban. We've seen Liquid play that a bunch of times, and they're winning games for like 20 minutes. Just so much sustain, so much. That hero is so strong in lane.
LFY also has the advantage of having so much information about Team Liquid drafts. It's seen in so many different ways.
There we go. We have Afu picking up the Earth Spirit.
One of the most notable plays of the tournament coming out from him with the Aegis steal. It's pretty epic.
Who did the rock and the
Kaka?
Yeah, that was awesome too.
2 Earth Spirit plays.
It's a very high finesse hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're really good at it, it'll show.
High skill cap.
And if you're really bad, it also shows, right?
10 seconds remaining.
It's not my hero.
I've seen that before.
It's not my hero.
Kuroko's also getting one of his signature heroes here, the Rubik. He hasn't played that much this tournament, right?
No, not very much at all. And then that'll be, I think, I've seen him play at least once, though. And he played great.
He used to be one of the best Rubik players as well in the past.
He might still be, but he was regarded as like the best Rubik player for quite a while.
Yeah.
Team Liquid.
But that's some nice instantaneous disable up against Puck. Makes him a little less elusive.
These two cores with Puck and Nyx is super good against both Call and Rubik. They can jump in and kill one of them straight away with Infest Bomb.
Yeah, GH on his Call, we always talk about the Aghanim Scepter, but he actually almost every single game goes for a 4-staff first with that Puck Dream Coil with the Nake's Bomb. Call can 4-staff away, but he's going to get stunned, and they'll be able to catch up to him.
I mean, the Puck Lifestealer combo we've seen before. Not run with Puck mid and Lifestealer safe lane, but actually having that last pick be another huge farming hero like Alchemist. We've seen that.
Yeah, Lifestealer can act as almost like a semi-core. He doesn't need to be this hero that takes everything. He works pretty well in dual carry pairings.
I think he's one of the one position's carry of choice versus keeper. You don't have to worry about the Mana Leak or the Blinding Light as a Lifestealer. It's very, very nice not to have to worry about that. Normally, you just have to get BKB or MKB. Usually both versus keeper going into the late game.
What are some carries from Liquid that you might like from or up against LGD? I thought maybe Matomi could play Terrorblade, but that's a little bit out of his norm this tournament.
Lycan, I would say, is because it pairs up quite good against the Nikes.
Yeah. Yeah, Lycan would make a lot of sense here.
Troll's also pretty good.
Troll as well. Yeah, Miracle could still play Troll.
BKB hero seems very good versus their first three.
Yeah, definitely. Until Puck gets Ags.
Yeah. So I wonder if Super's going to be playing the Puck. Do you think it's going to be Super Puck or Enflame Puck? Because right now they don't really have great tower hitters.
They have last picks. I think that they're going to leave that as an option.
It feels like that it's best to have it on the offlane when it's with Nike, because if you have it mid, like you really want to get this dagger and then go with the Nikes to get a kill.
Mm-hmm.
But if both your mid lane and your safe lane is like out ganking somewhere, it's quite obvious.
Bloodseeker, been a very popular pick just late in the tournament. Newbie showing great success with it up in winners, knocking LFY down with it.
He's a pretty solid hero against Lifestealer. I feel like it's not that bad for Lifestealer. Because he can just kind of sit there and man fight, and even if he's running around hitting people, he's still lifestealing.
Infest as well to try to
exactly
dodge the Rupture.
I think you'll almost always get the jump on the Bloodseeker rather than the other way around, though. I think with the Lifestealer, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, he's going to stay hidden.
But yeah, Liquid getting a little bit pushed out of what they have been mostly comfortable playing.
Yeah, most of the times when they've been playing this Coddle, they have this push lineup with Necrophos or Lycan, so they just wait for GH to get his Args and then they just push during the day. But here is a more like team fight oriented lineup with a Bloodseeker.
Fury on the final ban, getting rid of mind controls, or I guess
it's pretty interesting that they think it's going to be a mid shaker.
Yeah, yeah. Well, regardless, Furion is one of Liquid's best heroes. It would pair decently well with the Bloodseeker in terms of like what carries you need to win the game. Lots of building damage, some split push, some catch. All good things.
Team Liquid taking their time with their final pick.
Yeah, they've got a ban here, and then they have to pick immediately. And they've got to think, what's another hero we want up against Lifestealer, or do we already have enough with the Bloodseeker? They could still go for
Team Liquid's turn to LFYs.
Alright, Lone Druid.
He's a hero that's been banned against Team Liquid very high percentage of the time. Wisp, Coddle, Lone Druid, I think are the most frequent against them. And a Sniper.
Choose your hero.
So it looks like it will be Sniper mid and Puck probably in off lane.
Team Liquid is actually lacking quite a bit of gap close for that Sniper. They don't really have anybody that's going to be able to get on top of him.
They have a Sniper them like Cells with a Lone Druid, right?
Oh, that's true, but he sometimes plays Radiance. Fair.
Yeah.
The right, well,
do the like range build a couple of times as well.
It's time to get game one underway. It is the first of the games of the final day of TI7.
Welcome to the floor of Key Arena. We are here in Seattle. 24, nearly $25 million in prize money available at this TI, and 18 million almost of them to be claimed today. But Bloomy, this is the day when legends are born and stories are written or end prematurely. Liquid facing LFY, Newbie waiting as the final bosses in the grand finals. This crowd is already very into it.
We got one of the most amazing crowd here out of all Dota lands. I speak for everyone that we just want to see good Dota, but that's boring.
We don't want to see good Dota. We want to see beautiful Dota.
Perfect Dota is what we're looking for today. But before we get into that, let's get some cheer for LFY. Let's hear it, guys.
And of course, it is an aquatic themed TI, so I think we'd be remiss if we didn't see how many Liquid fans are in the house.
Team Liquid getting that home crowd advantage. Maybe a little bit, but...
Maybe a little, but only a little. And what they maybe lack in numbers here at the venue, they certainly make up for with the volume department, as the LFY fans are very anxious to see their team advance. So we get into the Dota now, Lumi. We can talk a bit about these picks. Mr. Ho-Ho Ha-Ha coming through again. We saw him yesterday.
Already getting a little triggered. And it is some interesting laning here coming out from Team Liquid. We see Matumbaman posting up on the mid lane. His matchup is going to be super for now on the sniper, although it looks like there might be a little bit of scouting and perhaps lane switching. And of course, we also have LFY going offensive up on the top lane. This lane, though, Team Liquid has already scouted out with a observer ward by the Secret Shop. So I think Team Liquid is happy with how the lanes are going. As I say that, though, it seems like there is some lane rotation going up the other way as well. What do you think is kind of the best lane matchup? I feel like they want to actually have the Puck versus the Earthshaker matchup, and it looks like Team Liquid is going to get that.
For me, I look at LFY, and it's maybe less about the matchups. It's more so about the rotations. Will Afu find those early openings to set them up for success? He has been hugely impactful on the Earth Spirit, and probably the same thing for Liquid here with the Rubik potentially being able to rotate around, set up some early kills with potentially a Fissure to follow that up. But for now, at least, it is going to be the Lone Druid versus Sniper showdown. And this has been a hallmark of Team Liquid and their versatility coming into play, where Matumbaman can sit in that middle lane as a Broodmother, a Lone Druid. They are not fixated on having him in like a traditional safe lane, every game, one position type of role.
Yeah, the big difference is that I think this Lone Druid is very gankable in the mid lane, especially to a hero like Earth Spirit. Sure, you might not kill him in the first gank, but definitely a lot of harass that's going to be coming through. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Inflame is just having a really tough time. Just eats fissures, eats a ton of right click. I think GH got like 6 to 7 right clicks on that Puck. Has a phase available, but...
Simultaneously, Miracle also struggling, but the beauty of the Bloodseeker is you just get a few last hits and you'll be right back in it. As Afu looks to equalize the score, gives Mind Control some early harass, but he also takes punishment from Gandalf.
Yeah,
GH getting a lot of early harass in.
This is actually going to be a big problem. As soon as Bloodseeker turns level 2 up on the top lane, he is going to have access into Thirst. And suddenly, I think LFY top lane might crumble a little bit thanks to the big boost of movement speed as well.
They are getting aggressive here. Miracle going in on DDC. Liquid looking for the first blood. The Frost Armor is going to save him, it looks like. But at the same time, Monet unable to punish fully here. Frost Armor certainly will be quite the nuisance for the Lone Druid, for the Bloodseeker, as this game moves along. So a duel here top. Seems like Monet is getting that edge and harass, but just one quick change of auto attacks, Miracle will be right back in it.
Miracle seems to be struggling in terms of the last hit department right now. Of course, the Lich is a big part of that, and every time he does come in for that last hit, just eats at least 2 to 3 right clicks from the Lich as well as the Lifestealer. So they're doing a good job to slow him down.
Our first runes of the game spawning, just an illusion top for now. Super still holding mid, and so far this mid lane looking relatively even. So while we have a moment here, Lumi, let's talk about the Sniper pick. Why Sniper, do you think, for LFY, and how good is he going to be in this game? It's not a hero we see all that frequently.
Well, there's not a really good way for Team Liquid to gap close. I mean, you have Blink Shaker, maybe the Rubik could get close with a lift, but apart from that, if Sniper's position is good enough, he's just going to sit in the back line and just snipe people non-stop every day. So it's a great Sniper pick. I think Rupture could get close, but Miracle needs to really come in from some awkward angle to actually catch the Sniper.
Yeah, maybe we'll see a Shadow Blade here at some point on the Earthshaker. Those mobility items normally are common. It's Inflame. Bit of a juke here on GH. Gonna try to pressure him on the back of this. He's gonna have an orb pulling down soon. This could be the first blood. The Fissure comes through. Well, it might be the first blood the other way. Inflame's gotta get the hell out of there. Nice stuff with the phase shift. Now Mind Control still pursuing him through the trees. Looking for the Enchant Totem connection. Not gonna find it. Dangerous moments as that Earth Spirit could be rolling in any second. He's actually gonna roll away. That will send the Keeper packing back to the base, at least for now.
You know, something that you touched on earlier is it's about the rotation, but so far we haven't seen too much of it. It's a true 1v1 in the mid lane, which is quite rare in the current metagame. And I gotta say, Super is definitely holding his own. Normally, the Lone Druid gets a lot stronger at level 5 because your bear gets to now root people, but I think Sniper is one of the better heroes against that because you just get to stay so far back. Whenever the bear comes even close, you get to harass. In fact, the bear has to make the walk of shame into the fountain to regen, so this is looking pretty good.
Quick fountain trip for him. So far, so good for the Sniper. Of course, with the Lich, if there's no kills, you should be passively winning your lane. That said, the Lifestealer slightly down on CS, so pretty early days here, but relatively even start thus far. No major advantage being accrued by either team. Does feel like it's going to come down to some of these rotations. Where does that first Rupture go? Are they able to find a puck pickoff with the Dream Coil? Maybe the supports, the dual ES initiator type heroes can get involved. We'll see. But I mean, everyone pretty content to stay in their lanes. Inflame is going to have to silence Mind Control to get fissured up a bit. An off-lane Shaker, though, still looking to apply the pressure. Phase Shift comes through, but he still gets clipped by the light. Not quite enough damage just yet, but the pressure is there, and this puck is constantly running low in regen. Same time, he is CSing well, so he's able to afford some additional when necessary.
You know, you say passive game is good for the Lich, but at the same time, as an Earth Spirit team, you definitely want to be able to convert some of your early rotations to kills. And this particular top board that Team Liquid has placed is making it tough for Afu
It's not going to see this Earth Spirit coming in, though. He's creeping around in the woods. We find the opening. Bloodseeker is a possible kill, but not easy. He already has a pretty decent move speed as of now, so
if you could
still
catch
kind of
him,
hesitant.
If you can catch him with Blood Rage on as he comes in for the last hit, as he has now, maybe.
They don't have a whole lot to disable, though, so they've got to time this just right. And Miracle dueling it out with Monet. They're going to try and save that Boulder Smash, rolling forward. And now Miracle getting stunned up. He's a little bit too fast, though, because in the bottom lane, they're diving the puck. The puck may end up going down in flame. While they don't get the kill, they also save this top lane through the power of the Thirst, the Fissure. Nearly bringing in Flame down.
Yeah, it was a very lucky break for Miracle. As they started going on the puck, the HP of puck lowers and lowers, activating that Thirst, giving that movement speed that he needed to get out of the gank. Very, very slow early game, despite the fact that both teams are aggressively looking for that first blood.
We've seen some of those early rotations, not yet netting kills. Now Matumba Man getting aggressive on Super. The power of the entangling claws can leave the Sniper vulnerable, especially if a rotation comes in. They'll need to keep vision up for Super. He'll have to be very, very careful about his positioning, because look who's coming from behind.
It's only
GH creeps.
Level 1. Oh, he's going to assassinate the bear.
Oh, he wants that kill. Super does
goal.
get it. That's an easy 300, but maybe the punish can come now. Liquid will trade this for first blood to roll in from Apu. Two-hero connection. First blood to LFY. Bear's down. Now the hero's down. And Kuro might drop as well. Super wants to back away. Ho-ho. Haha.
He's fine.
He's out of there.
Yeah, first blood. They got the bear.
Even forced the mind control TP. That is the ultimate coup here for LFY. On top of that, Afu snags the bounty. Talk about a good start, Lumi.
Oh, for sure. Just look at the net worth differential. Sniper is about 1,000 net worth ahead of the Lone Druid off the bear kill, off the double kill, and the first blood. He's having a beautiful game.
Nearly 1,000 gold up on the Lone Druid, where it was dead even before that. That is a massive exchange. See how Liquid are able to respond now. Does have to resummon. Tumba Man wants a little bit of vengeance here, but Super just calmly plinking away on El Doge. Keeps on punishing it under tower.
And just now we saw the weakness of Team Liquid's draft, where you got the Keeper, you got the Rubik. Neither of those are really good rotation heroes, you know? They come in very slowly, they don't have a lot of burst damage or disable.
You'd love to see the Bloodseeker come, but Miracle's actually only level 4.
That's the Lich for you.
Because of the Lich. Even though he's CS relatively fine, so no Rupture available. The only other hero that can rotate is the Shaker, and that's a big investment, bringing your off-laner away and just freeing up that bottom lane for the puck. So LFY, it seems like kind of hinging on the Sniper and the early movements of Afu, have been able to gain an early advantage here. But as mentioned, it is early. Only 7 minutes in. We still haven't seen Liquid ramp up. So many times, Lumi, they've even been very far behind, and then all of a sudden GH gets that Aghanim Scepter and things completely change. So definitely don't write Liquid off by any means.
I think even as he's working towards Ags, with the draft that LFY has, they can actually apply a ton of pressure. But look at this power jungling that's coming out from GH in the jungle. Stacks multiple camps, one Illuminate hits both. I mean, that force stab is coming really soon.
This guy's an auto god.
Yeah, that's how you do it, boys.
Already level 4. He's basically there with Miracle, which is probably not what Liquid wanted, but they'll be happy that GH has his good start nonetheless.
He is missing some of the experience that he's gaining from the left camp, but you know, for Kato, he's worried about gold. Okay, here comes Afu.
Afu's great. I'll have some of these. Leeching it up. Might even be able to steal more. And in comes the rotation. They don't want Afu to get this for free. Lone Druid flanking him from behind. Up the ramp comes Doge, rolling away. To the right, and a TP out. No chance of stopping Afu. The Shaker currently at the tier 1, too far to rotate. Could be an ongoing issue for Liquid until these until the Shaker and the Rubik get some items. They don't have that many ways to cancel these TPs.
Yeah.
Maybe a lucky route, but the bear has to get there.
LD, would you say this is one of the most successful Lich game we haven't seen him give away early kills.
He just got to sit in a lane, deny creeps, and didn't die.
It's like a very slow...
That's successful as far as what you want to do as a lane.
Yeah, and look at Miracle's level, right? As we see the bear just... having a ton of issues on the mid lane.
It's almost in that assassinate kill range.
Look at the level differential. You have a level 5 Bloodseeker to a level 9 sniper in the mid lane that's just blinking away.
And that's just a hard matchup in general, right? Like, as Bloodseeker, you have to run in. You know, you don't normally see the hero build like anything that lets you jump, and even if you do, the sniper's probably going to win the man fight with this kind of an advantage. So Miracle's going to have his work cut out for him as LFY look to set up. Afu lurking on the high ground. DDC has the chain cross. They can go for this. Boulder smash up the mark. They still lob it in. Will bounce back. It does. They need a little more damage. So he also whiffed there on the roll forward, and Miracle scoots away. Easy dodge for him. Still the pressure though, Lumi. Despite the failed kill, they could force him back for a little bit, and they could pressure this tower with the Lifestealer. But Liquid looks like they might want to try to contest this. They're thinking about it. They've given that bottom lane to GH. They have rotated mind control very early on the Shaker. Frees up mid. There Matumba Man starts to work on the tier 1. Bounty Road spawning. LFY gonna TP Sniper back to mid. Mask of Madness already complete. Just so difficult to punish this Sniper with all the mobility he has now, but GH is gonna try, just blasting him from the side. He shrugs it off.
Yeah, he's got the regen from the Mask of Madness as well, so he's not too worried about that. I really love this build. The mobility is going to help out against a team that can't immediately jump on you.
Afu, nice silence there. They were thinking about an Echo Slam commitment.
won't be possible. All the while, Monet quietly farming on the top lane, and so things